Seltzer, and I'm an employment lawyer licensed to practice law in Maryland and the District of Columbia. And I want to talk today about a couple of things people should think about when they lose their job. Many people come to me and say, I've been fired. What are my legal rights? And you have to talk to an attorney specifically about your situation to learn what your specific rights are from a legal perspective. That being said, there are a number of things that you should be thinking about and that you can talk about directly with your employer or with a lawyer to understand what you can do about certain things, such as severance pay. Many people come to me and ask, am I entitled to severance pay? Different companies handle severance pay differently, and there's no one size fits all, and there's no formula for how much severance pay you will get, or even if you will get it at all. But a qualified employment lawyer can certainly talk to you about strategies for negotiating the best amount of severance pay possible. Similarly, people worry about what's going to happen with my health insurance. This is something you can talk to a lawyer about as well and try to develop strategies for obtaining payment of your health insurance premiums for a period of time after the separation. Another issue that comes up in my practice is, can they give me my vacation pay that I haven't used? Can they or will they pay me for sick leave I haven't used? This can vary from state to state, from company to company, but it's certainly something that you have to talk to your employer or to a lawyer about to find out what your rights are, but it's a concern of many. Many people also are concerned about what kind of reference they will get when they've lost a job. Some people will get a neutral reference where their employment will be verified, their position will be verified, perhaps their last salary will be verified. Other people might be lucky enough to get a positive reference, either for a verbal reference or a written letter. Again, these are things to talk about with a lawyer when you've lost your job to see if what you can negotiate. Many people are concerned about unemployment benefits. Will I be able to collect unemployment? This is a matter that varies state to state and can also turn on whether you quit versus whether you're fired, and also based on the reasons why you're fired. But applying for unemployment benefits is an important step after you've lost your job, and a qualified employment lawyer can guide you through that process. An important issue to many people is finding out what kind of reference, if any, they are going to obtain from their former employer. You can ask your employer directly, what do you say to callers who want to verify my employment or who may want to hire me in the future? Find out what the answer will be. Some employers only give a neutral employment reference, just verifying dates of employment and positions held. Others will give a verbal reference that's positive. Others will give a written reference letter that's positive. These are things to talk about with your employer or with a qualified employment lawyer who can help you to obtain the best reference possible that you can use in the future. People need to set up a time to retrieve their personal property from their office. There are times when people are terminated and are escorted off the premises without having the opportunity to obtain their personal belongings. This can be very stressful and very upsetting. So if your employer is not willing to work with you to arrange the return of your personal property, it may be necessary to hire an attorney to help you with that process. Another issue that many people are concerned about when they lose a job is, am I still bound by my restrictive covenant? A restrictive covenant can be a non-compete agreement, a non-solicit agreement, or an agreement not to hire the employees of your former employer. And many people think, well, I was fired, so the restrictive covenant should not be binding on me, right? And that's not always the case. If it were that easy, people would get themselves fired just to get out of their restrictive covenants. Again, this is an area that is particularly important to discuss with a qualified employment lawyer who can help you navigate what your responsibilities are with respect to your restrictive covenant after you've lost your job. And that lawyer might be able to negotiate with your former employer to release you from some or all of the provisions, or perhaps to shorten the duration of the term by which you're bound by these covenants. Many people are concerned about how their termination will be messaged both internally and externally to the public, to vendors, to customers, to clients, and to other members of the industry. This is something to talk about with your former employer, or again, with an attorney, so that the message that is sent, whether it's internally or externally, is one with which you're comfortable and not worried. Every employer is different in terms of how they handle this message, and it's important to know from the get-go what will be said, or to have a role in deciding and crafting the message. Finally, many people want to know, can I just resign in lieu of being terminated? This is a discussion that is completely legitimate to have with your former employer, and to say to them, I would prefer to have the world know I resigned rather than have them know I was fired. It's a negotiation point. And many people will feel that it's worth the potential trade-off in terms of obtaining unemployment insurance benefits to be able to say they resigned. In many situations, you will be able to resign and obtain unemployment insurance benefits, so it may not be a big problem. But again, it's something to discuss with an employment lawyer. So this list is not meant to be exhaustive. It may be exhausting to think of all the things you have to handle when you've lost a job, not the least of which is finding another one. But again, a good qualified employment lawyer can assist you with this process and hopefully make it end much more smoothly than it would otherwise. If you have specific questions and would like to contact me directly, you can contact me by telephone or through my website, which is www.seltzerlawfirm.com. Thank you.